Hello, I am Dani, and welcome to the 23rd episode of the World of DVC Show. We have an amazing show for you today. We are talking all about cruising and traveling and a lot of different market updates as well.
Oh, hey, Dani.
Hey, Derek.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Welcome. Someone told me that you have been to, is this right, 86 different countries all over the world?
I have 86 countries. How many countries have you been to, Derek?
Let me think. Kerri, how many countries are at Epcot?
Daddy, look, a giraffe. I can't believe we can walk through the castle.
It starts with a spark, alive in our hearts, a chance to build your legacy. To go to magical places with smiling faces and value and trust you can see. When it's buying or selling, renting or lending, there's a wonderful dwelling with wishes unending. You'll save a lot when you believe. So go with the team who will achieve your dream. Enter the world of DVC.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now entering the world of DVC, the ultimate DVC destination where magical vacations meet incredible value through exceptional service. Put in your headphones, turn the volume up, sit back, relax, and step into the world of DVC.
Just wish on a star. Enter the world of DVC.
For those of you, which you probably don't know, every time we start to tape the show, Jeff, our cameraman, producer extraordinaire, sings that song to have us feeling like we're just flowing right in. And Jeff, your voice is beautiful today.
It's lovely.
So thank you. Welcome, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
It's funny because the last episode, somebody had wrote in to the comments.
Yes.
Was that me singing?
Are you the vocalist?
Singing our theme song. I wish it was
I
me. I wish I
know.
had that skill set, but singing was not my forte. My sister, sure. However, if you haven't had the chance, if you're new to World of DVC or the World of DVC show, go back to some of our very first episodes because we have the making of the theme song with our jingle team, and they will go through the creation of our theme song. And there's some really special, I would say, like kind of Disney, like famous.
Yeah.
Yes.
Singer producers that were part of this. So go back and watch that episode.
Super
for
talented.
Sure.
I
Yeah,
just
lots
love
of
the
fun.
thought that we have a jingle team.
I know.
Well, and I
good,
mean,
though.
shameless
One
plug,
day, I
but
said, I'm going to get a jingle team. And we
we
have
had
one.
our theme song. I know DVC directed. Disney just came out with their beautiful theme song.
Yes.
But we had ours.
I
We
like
had
ours.
ours first. We've had ours since 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
They're a great team, too. So, yeah, I think it's
love it.
episode 3 or 4.
Yep.
Yeah. That's awesome. So
Worth
welcome,
watching.
everybody. This is episode number
23.
23. Episode 23. I
crazy?
can't believe it's March already.
I know, and you just spit on my cup. My nice new cup. That's okay.
As you take a sip.
I was like, take a sip.
I'm
We're all
having,
family.
I'm having cup envy because look, mine is just a little styrofoam cup, and these have
Carrie and I
elaborate
are all
Swarovski
fancy.
We
crystallized
come in with some sparkle.
cups. Yeah, sparkleized. Welcome, everybody. We're glad you guys are here to join us for another amazing episode of the World of DVC. This is going to be a fun show.
Yes, it is.
I'm
I
excited.
know.
So we're going to mentally leave the studio and go on a cruise.
Oh, let's do it. Oh,
Yay!
my gosh.
I would like to physically
Yes.
leave the studio
Yes,
and go on a
go
cruise.
on a
Is that an
cruise,
option?
right? Do this from on location. And this is, I have to say, one of my favorite people is our guest today. I love her.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are so excited to have the newest sales associate
Yes.
at the DVC Resale Market, Dani Metzger,
Yep.
is joining us today to talk all things cruise, to talk all things, honest to God, like when you hear her story.
Yeah, she's been. When you say someone is all the places, all the time, everywhere, that's
Yeah,
her.
yeah.
And Dani started with World of DVC on our retreat day. So if you can imagine, that's your first day on the job, coming into 65 crazy people. You don't know many people,
And here you are, like, thrown in, and she's just such a champ.
Yeah.
And
She's been amazing.
No one works a room like Dani.
And many of you might have already seen Dani in a couple of our Unlocked
that's
Magic
right.
episodes that we did. So we just threw her right in.
We did.
We said, Dani, you are not only going to be an amazing sales agent, but you're also going to be an on-air personality.
Right.
And you're going to have to film. So she's like, wow, what kind of job do I have?
I hope I don't mess up. She'll be fine.
But she has fit in so perfectly
Yeah,
here.
she's
So
great.
she's just an amazing, fun, awesome person. So we're glad to hear. And I just realized today too, as I was dressed and I come in, I didn't realize that my shirt actually has a little sailboat.
Look at you theming it up.
Themed.
I love it.
You would have thought I thought about it, but I did it.
Right.
Carrie and I are just the theme of spring.
Exactly. The breath of spring
Because
on
it's
either side of
90
you.
degrees
It's
here.
90. We are having a bit of an annoying heat wave, but
It is.
the winter weather is still all around, so we won't complain too much. We're
I
not
know.
shoveling.
Because I know people are like
Yeah.
snow covered, ice
They
covered,
are.
and they're probably thinking, shut up, you guys are talking about, complaining that it's 90 and sunny, but it's like,
my
give us our fall.
Yeah, and my parents always come at the beginning of the winter, and they have to make their like obligatory phone call to all of their people back home. So they're like, "Hey, are you shoveling sunshine? Because we are." I'm like, "Oh goodness!" Like, because they're not shoveling snow up in Massachusetts. But yeah, it's
That's a cute one.
Shoveling sunshine?
Shoveling sunshine.
I like that. So welcome. We are going to have an awesome, awesome show today. So first of all, let's just talk things Disney. We've done some pretty cool stuff that we've already done and doing some cool stuff. So why don't you start?
Yeah.
Tell everybody where you went.
Yeah, so we just did like a Friday night at Epcot. We are excited about the annual pass reservation going away because we go all the time after school.
Sure.
And so the fact now that we can literally like pick up Caden from school and go right to the
go.
parks is so exciting. So I cannot wait. That is coming soon. But we did make a reservation for Epcot after school. So we picked Caden up, we head over, we met with like his little best friend and their family. And we went around and did just little tastings it was the last kind of end of the Festival of the Arts. But I will tell you, on the way home, every time we do this, we try to like go and eat at the Boardwalk, either before or after, get a little snack, and then we'll park there. Just because I love walking into Epcot that way versus parking at the front of Epcot.
Yeah, the International Gateway is so beautiful.
And it's just, there's something about walking on the Boardwalk that's so magical. And so like the walk-in, the weather was beautiful because even though we're complaining about the heat at night, we're having like that really beautiful, like not humid, just warm with like maybe a little cool breeze. Yeah, it's wonderful.
A little breezy.
So we walked in and I'm like, oh, this is so magical. But then on our way out, what I love about the Boardwalk is it truly is like a destination. And I know people go back and forth between like Beach Club and Boardwalk. And Beach Club obviously has like the amazing pool and great location. But Boardwalk is like its own little city. And it's so special. And even right now, like I'm going on like Resale Market, right, and looking at the prices of Boardwalk because the prices you can snag Boardwalk at right now are insane. So if you're looking to snag a Boardwalk, this is the time. This is literally what I'm thinking as I'm walking back because we had such a great little time. But we got stopped by the magician. And of course, we were like the only kids there, and more were gathering. But Caden got chosen to be like the very special, special one, and so he did this whole like magical, like you choose a coin, you choose a penny or a dime, and it was set up so that like Caden got everything correct. And so like there are all these adults in line and he asked Caden, and every time he asked Caden got it right. And then like he had predicted, he wrote on a whiteboard at the very beginning, and he had predicted that Caden would get it right and got all the questions right.
Is that?
And oh my gosh, like I mean we had fun at Epcot, but like just that moment on the Boardwalk, like we left and his bucket was so full of like, I'm so smart and I'm magic. And I was like, oh
yes you are.
Maybe I'm gonna add on points at the Boardwalk.
I know. Oh my god, now's the time to do it.
I know, for sure.
And that's the
love
stuff that people still to this day, I still talk to people that have not even been to that Boardwalk Crescent Lake area. And it's
awesome.
so crazy because once you go there, you just can't imagine anywhere else. It's just so but that is, for me, it's painful because when I walk through that International Gateway, I want to be staying there.
I agree. Completely
bad. Like,
agree.
oh my God, I just want to be walking back to my room at the Boardwalk. I just want to be walking back to my villa at the Beach Club.
Caden's latest thing to say to us when we walk in, he's like, the rooms were full tonight, huh, Mom? Because we have to tell, because like we can't stay every time we go.
There was no availability.
No room at the inn.
We said the same thing. We did I guess we're segueing to me because I'm going to make it. But I said the exact same thing last night. I wish I was on vacation because we did Tron. We went and did Tron yesterday.
How was it?
Loved it. Loved it. I give it a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
Which is still great, but I'm still a Guardians girl. Only because Tron was short. It was a little bit shorter than I think we thought, but wow. I mean, it is immersive. The lights are so cool. The takeoff was like the smoothest thing. It's fast.
How long did you have to wait?
Well, it was a preview,
Right,
so we
right.
didn't have to wait more than 15, 20 minutes.
Oh.
And but the only bad thing was that because of that, we missed the pre-show. And apparently the pre-show was not to miss. So maybe like if you do a lightning lane one time and then come back and wait, another time for the pre-show, we didn't get to see the pre-show. In 5 years.
You want to wait 3 hours.
Or maybe Moonlight Magic or something like that, right? Exactly. Or get there and just run. But it was...
Is it like 1 minute, right?
Yeah, it's short.
fast.
Because we came like you go outside and then you come back inside and Randy and I are next to each other and like you're huddled over this thing. It does give you like a nice lumbar support, I have to say, because like this is really good on the back. And she was like, "That was the coolest thing ever." And I said, "It's not over yet." And then it was over, and I was like, "Oh, I guess it's over." Okay. Where I feel like Guardians, it's like it's over and then it picks back up. Or Slinky Dog, like you slow down and then you pick back up. It was so well done. And it was so cool to see the whole thing. Like we live sort of, behind the Magic Kingdom area. So to see it be built over all this time and to finally do it, it was super exciting. But when we were walking out too, so we did that, we did Tron, and then we did, also stop and get your picture, like do the photo op because they're so cool. There's 2 different options, one at actually there's 3.
Is it on the ride?
I don't know. We didn't see one from the ride, but there is like a lot of flashing. So I'm trying to put on my best camera face, but it was just more like a deer in the headlights look, But there's like you can sit in the car to test it beforehand. That's a cute photo op. And then when you come out, you hold the little, I don't know anything about Tron, but you hold that little disc thing. What's that thing called?
Like a little Frisbee.
Like a little Frisbee. Yes, you hold that and then you take your picture in front of the sign too, the entrance. So there's a few different photo ops that are so super cool. But then we went and we had lunch at the Plaza restaurant. Which I haven't been to the Plaza restaurant since my college program, which was a long time ago. Trust me.
I forget that restaurant's
Me
still
too.
there.
Me too. There was nobody there. And yes, the park was like really like moderately crowded. It was the perfect day. Plaza restaurant was outstanding. It was so delicious. The server was awesome. It was just like the perfect day. And then when we were walking out, I said, I wish we were staying at the Grand Floridian. I wish we were at the Polynesian. I'm so grateful that we live behind all the magic. But I agree. The weather's been so perfect. It was like the perfect time to just like buy more points and stay on property because it's magical just to walk back to your hotel room or take the monorail back over. So if you haven't done Tron, I loved it. I give it no shade other than I think it's just a little short, but it's so worth it. It's so well done. Yeah.
I just hope the weather, continues because I'm going to Vero Beach in 2 weeks.
So you guys are like the Vero Beach ambassadors.
We had a room booked, so it's at the end of spring break, so we can't go anywhere long distance. So we only had a couple of nights because my son is a rower and it's 2-a-day practices during spring break as we head into big regatta season. So we're like, all right, let's go somewhere. We just want to be able just to get away. So we booked the Polynesian. So we had that, but then we kept asking the kids, like, do you want to try for Vero? It's not available, but we could try for it because it just feels like, going 2 hours away to Vero feels more like a vacation versus 20 minutes down the road to stay at the Poly, as awesome as the Poly is. So we said, you know what? Let's just try for a wait list. 48 hours later, the wait list came through.
Oh, nice.
So,
and this is spring break in Florida, too.
Yes.
And so I think,
wonderful.
to your point, so many people, you'll get into, again, kind of that negative vibe, right? Whether it's, in Facebook groups or different, board groups where people go, oh, there's just no availability. And I think it's just... it's being flexible, and being okay with hey, we might have a wait list come through, we may not. But wait lists are very successful. And my family who lives in Colorado who are DVC members, I would say they wait list 9 out of the 10 times they come.
Yeah.
Because they just are all over the place. They wait till the last minute on everything. They just book Saratoga Springs because they know they're going to get it.
Yep.
And they wait list every night somewhere else.
And
they
do
always
different resorts.
get it.
Wait list different resorts. Smart.
So again, there's just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
I think take the chance wait list because a lot of times they come through.
It's free. So I'm very excited to go to Vero. So on the next show, on the April show, I will do a Vero Beach report. We
Yeah.
just went there in December, so now we're going back again. And every time I leave Vero, I'm always like, I'm so sad because I don't know when I'm coming back. And now I'm like, oh my God, I'm coming back already.
back again,
I'm
yeah.
coming back already. So
Well, we're so excited too because we had to rebook our Hilton Head stay. We had talked last show that I would do a Hilton Head update and stay, and we had to rebook it due to some family things that had happened. So we're excited to have that come back up again. We've got it scheduled right now for end of April.
Okay.
But I think we're going to push it out a little bit more. Just for timing of everybody's schedules and this and that. So that'll be coming soon because like Vero Beach, I love Hilton Head too. I love the escape destination Vero, DVC resorts. They're fabulous.
I love it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what's going on. You, Kerri, came up with a great phrase. And Kerri, why don't you say it again?
Around the world of DVC.
See? It's so much better than market
We need
updates.
like a little jingle for that,
Yeah,
right?
I know.
Jeff,
Bring the
we need a
jingle team
jingle.
Bring
back.
the jingle team back and jingle that up.
Jingle team, assemble.
Something with a tambourine or something, right?
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
So start with the rental store.
Rental stores got a lot of really great things happening. There's a ton of great opportunities out there right now, as low as $19 a point on the open listing page as well, which can be up to 75% off of the reservation. And then DVC Rental Store is also doing the price matching guarantee as well. So they will match any of the lowest price that you come in with for any of the reservations.
Yeah, and so
well.
I think
Yeah.
by adding like that lowest price guarantee with any other rental opportunities out there, we've heard, people say, well, this price, I can find this price there. Okay, well, in fact, not only are we price matched, but we're the lowest price guarantee. So we'll actually bring our prices lower. If you find it lower somewhere else, we'll be the lowest price on that. So if you have been looking to, again, try before you buy, or just stay deluxe, right? Maybe step up from that moderate or value resort and stay deluxe for the first time. This is the way to do it. Because again, many of those examples, if you're booking anywhere from that 0 to 7 month window at $19 per point, that can be up to a 75% savings, which it's a no-brainer.
It's huge, right? It's just huge. And there's so many great examples out there. Go to dvcrentalstore.com. And I love the try before you buy. And that's exactly what we did. I sold DVC, as a sales guide, but just didn't know if we'd use it as locals. But trying it with DVC Rental Store, it just made sense. So dvcrentalstore.com.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And over at the DVC Resale Market, we've got some exciting things happening. We just wrapped up our big red hot deal promotion.
Yeah, wow.
That we knew
People
it
got
was,
some deals.
That was red hot.
They were red,
Yes.
they were hot, and they were deals.
Yes.
Yeah. We knew it was going to be successful, but I don't think we ever imagined it would be as successful as it was. So that was incredible. And again, thank you to the audience, truly. I mean, again, this show would not exist without you guys tuning in, listening each month. We love your comments. We love the fact that when you reach out to us with questions that you came to us from this show. So it's always so great. So thank you always for tuning in. And also at the DVC Resale Market, we have Marissa. Do you want to touch on this a little bit? I don't think this has ever been done anywhere?
No.
Definitely not with Disney Vacation Club.
Well,
so
and I
this
think
is big.
a lot of, if you go to the history of Disney Vacation Club, right? And if you go back and watch our episode with Nick, and he talks about why he started DVC Resale Market, it was because so many guests came into DVC and said, hey, I'm thinking about selling, and there was no great place to direct them where they were going to get that same Disney quality and service.
Right.
And that's what kind of led to this brainchild of we take trade-ins. Because during our time at Disney, so many times people would come in and say, I bought at Grand Cal, right? Or Alani, but I'm only going to Disney World.
Right.
Or I bought at Beach Club, but I only book 3 months in advance. So I have this high, demanded location that I never use for that location. So if I sold it, I could get more points at Saratoga, right? Or Vero Beach. And so we get it all the time, whether we were working for Disney directly or now on the resale side, where people go, can I just trade in my Saratoga for Beach Club or my Grand Cal for Saratoga points, right? And so that's never been something we've been able to do until now. So we take trade-ins. So whether that's a resort that maybe you just want to swap out for a different resort, or a lot of people have bought through direct from Disney or through the resale market, and they own multiple use years, and then they realize that was a little bit more choppy than they wanted to get into.
That's a big one.
And so if you have that scenario where you go, hey, this is just not working for us, we've helped so many guests over the years who have basically sold a contract and then turn around and then bought bought it. Well, what we did is we just simplified that. And so now instead of having to go through like 8 different steps, it's just a very simple process. So on our website, you can actually filter as trade-in eligible listings. So you can go through and find all the listings that are trade-in eligible.
wow.
So basically, what you're going to do is reach out to our team, dvcresalemarket.com. You can ask them and say, for example, hey, I've got the Saratoga. They'll let you know what the trade-in value is. Very similar to like if you're trading in a car, right? So they'll let you know what the trade-in value is, and then you can pick whatever trade-in eligible contract you'd like to buy, and they'll do everything processed all in that one step versus you
so
having
easy.
to wait that whole
Yeah.
process.
That's so big because so many people want to do that,
Yep.
but it's all about timing. So, okay, I have to sell this contract because I'm taking the funds from the one that I
Right.
sell so I can buy the new one. So this is all done at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's amazing. I love it.
Yeah. So,
great.
I mean, this is the really exciting thing, and we kind of alluded to it last year, but just with the world of DVC continuing to grow, these are the type of things that we want to keep bringing to you, our guests, right? And saying, hey, how do we revolutionize it, right? How do we make DVC Resale Market even more beneficial to our guests, or DVC rental store at even better rates? And so that's what we're going to continue on this year. So super exciting. And speaking of revolutionize, right? So Unlock Magic, of course, we have joined many of you over there. So welcome.
Yes.
If you haven't had the chance to join yet, it's unlockmagic.com. You can use the code WOD. So World of DVC.
World of
W-O-D.
Yes.
WOD
World of DVC.
in
Yes.
the code there, and you'll get 30 days free. So if you want to try it out, come and join us. The Dining Finder has been super exciting. I use it all the time. In fact, when we
Right.
went to the Boardwalk, I was like, we need to eat somewhere on the Boardwalk so we can park there,
Yeah.
right? And so I basically put in every restaurant on the Boardwalk and Beach Club on our drive there.
Oh,
and my
smart.
husband was like, what are you doing? I was like, don't worry, I'll get us a reservation somewhere. And sure enough, as we pulled in, I got
For
my
real?
reservation.
That's awesome.
We made it. So again, really, really great tool. So
Yeah.
join us for that. And like we've said, we are doing World of DVC episodes inside Unlock
Yes.
Magic.
They're so
our
fun,
latest
too.
one was
I
Saratoga
know.
Springs, which was
my
awesome.
gosh.
But I want to give you guys, if you haven't had a chance to watch it yet, I'm going to give you a little sneak preview of that episode. So if you want to see more, join us inside unlockmagic.com, but take a look.
Not quite as awesome as his, but are you able to take complexes over here, which is where we go meet our guests for the first time, where we take them on the model tours. Go where we are.
So yeah, that is the latest heading over
love
there.
it. Yeah,
Love
that's
it.
great.
That was so much fun.
And our next one coming up is the Grand Floridian, which was equally
That
as
one-
fun.
Oh my
I don't
gosh.
know, they're all so
They're-
fun.
I think they're just going to get better and better because that was such a fun day to
Yeah.
do too.
This crew with a boat. Enough said. That's
Enough
it.
said. That's right.
Join us
Yes,
to find out what
exactly
happens.
What happens?
Join us to see Marissa drive the boat.
I know.
Yeah. And last but not least, of course, we are talking to our special guest, Dani, today.
Yes.
And I don't think we could talk about Dani and not have like half the episode about cruising.
Yeah.
Right.
Because that's where Dani and I met, and that's how Dani got started with World of DVC. And all of us have like such vast cruise experiences
Yes.
and memories. And so in the theme of cruising, if you are looking to do that next Disney cruise, our team at Be Our Guest Vacations, they're going to help you with that. Again, whether you are a Florida resident or you're getting like a military discount or you're just looking for the best deal, they can actually match all of those discounts for you, but they take care of all the heavy lifting, the booking, plus you get an onboard credit. So it's like a no-brainer, right? So be sure to reach out, beourguestvacation.com.
Yep.
And join us on that next cruise because we're ready to
I
go.
know. We're so ready to go too.
I want to go. And I think I did like 100-some cruises with my time, but man, I miss it now.
Me too.
Like I was,
You want to go on a cruise,
Yes.
guys?
I was
I'm
done
packed
with
and ready.
it,
Okay,
but now
yeah.
I'm like, I
Yeah.
want to go back.
I know. I see everybody, especially like with the
Yeah.
Wish coming out.
Oh
There's
my
just
gosh,
been so
yes.
much like FOMO
Yeah.
on there.
Yeah.
But before we brought on Dani, I did want to say our giveaway this month. So we're going to go back to our gift card giveaway. So we're going to give away a $150 Disney gift card, whether you want to use it for a Disney cruise,
Exactly.
or heading out here to the Disney parks. But just be sure to participate.
Email us.
Email us at info@worldofdvc.com. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe, write down in the comments. What should they write down? favorite cruise
Yeah,
memory?
maybe like
Do you
a
have
cruise memory.
Or dream cruise,
Or
right?
dream
Yeah,
cruise
or
if
a
you've never
dream
done a
cruise.
cruise.
That's a great one.
Yeah,
We
so
all have a dream.
put that
Well, I have
down
a
in the
dream
comments
cruise.
there.
Yeah.
And again, email us info@worldofdvc.com. If you are listening on Apple Podcasts, show us a little bit of love there. We know you listen, so give us a 5-star review. Put something in the comments there as well. But
Ready?
ready,
bring her on?
without further ado.
Welcome, Dani.
Yeah,
so glad
you're here.
I am so excited to be here. I have seen this show so many times. I have talked to so many members who watch the show, and I'm like, I can't wait to be on it.
We're glad you're here.
Thank you.
Yes.
Are we
definitely.
as professional in person as we appear to be when you watch the shows?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, that's probably the right answer.
Perfect.
No, I'm just
Behind
kidding.
the scenes, it's such a mess. A hot mess sometimes, right?
You fit in perfectly
Yes,
here, Dani.
she does.
Perfect.
She does.
So
Yes.
welcome. We are so glad.
We're like Mary Poppins.
Huh?
We're practically perfect in every way.
Practically perfect.
Why is Jeff laughing so hard?
Keyword practically.
Practically. We practice
Jeff's like,
it.
I have hours and hours of footage showing you guys are anything but practically.
Speaking of that, we do need to pull some more bloopers.
We do. Because there's probably quite a few.
are fun.
Yeah.
They are.
So
They've been
welcome,
fun.
Dani.
Thank you so much for having me.
We are so glad that you are part of the World of DVC family as the newest sales agent at the DVC Resale Market. That's where we obviously know you from our DVC days.
Right.
But tell the folks at home and watching all over the world, Dani, tell us a little bit about yourself and how did you wind up to be here?
Wow. Okay, so I have lived in Orlando since 2007. Very long time ago. I went to UCF, went to the Rosen College of Hospitality.
Nice.
And it's so funny because, you know, when you're in college and you're studying, you're like, what am I going to do with my life? And never in a million years did I think I would end up here. But funny enough, when I was in college, I went to a career fair. And I started talking to this guy, and he's like, do you want to work on a cruise ship and travel around the world and get paid? And I'm like, yeah, that sounds pretty good.
I do.
And I was like, it was just meant to be, right?
Is that even legal? Yeah. That sounds amazing.
So I started on cruise ships like right out of college. I used to take people shopping on board the cruises.
What year did you start?
Oh my goodness. That was 2011.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we met that same
Shortly
year. Okay.
after.
What was the cruise ship you went on first?
Oh, that was, so I went on a Norwegian ship first. It was
Okay.
the Norwegian Sun. And then very shortly after, I went to Alaska. And that's where I met Marissa. I was on board the Holland America Zandam.
Oh.
And Marissa and I went
I was
for
on the Disney
coffee.
Wonder.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. And I was like,
my
who is this like magical princess who's talking to me?
How did you, because you were shopping guides to, so you were.
Yeah. So we worked for the same company.
Gotcha,
But
but
on
on
different
different
cruise
ships.
lines.
Oh,
and so
okay.
with my Disney history, I had always asked to like stay with Disney
Yeah.
just because I loved the ships and knew the people and the guests. And so we had like heard of each other because we knew like our team members' names who were going to be out in the ports, but we had never officially met.
Well,
Okay.
I knew that I knew who she was. I didn't know she knew who I was. But no, it was so cool because we got to go on all different ships. Like we were on Norwegian, Holland America, Disney,
Royal
Silver
Caribbean,
Sea,
Princess.
We were all over the board. But yeah, so Marissa comes up to me and she's like, "Do you want to grab a cup of coffee?" And I'm like, "You want to go for coffee with me?"
Was this in Skagway? Was it in Juneau?
Skagway,
Skagway,
How
yeah.
did you know that?
I don't know.
Disney Wonder first port.
That's how.
Yeah, so I was this little newbie. I remember I used to wear these like bows in my hair. I was like very young. I think I was like 21, 22 years old at the time. We went for coffee. We clicked immediately, and then we've been friends ever since. And so I did that for 5 years, jumped around all different cruise lines. And then Marissa was like, hey, so I work for the Disney Vacation Club, and I think you'd be a perfect fit here. I think it'd be a really good transition. I was kind of ready to, like, you know, the job that we did before, we used to do 6-month contracts. And so that is
Gone a long
exhausting.
time, right?
Well,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I think like to give you guys the insight of working as a crew member.
Yeah.
So like when we were DVC and we worked on the ships, we were cast or guest on business,
Big
right?
difference.
And
Right.
so you would come on for a week, maybe 2 weeks, but you'd stay in a guest cabin. You'd have time off in the ports.
Yeah.
You'd have like a quality of life.
Sure.
When you're working as a crew member, which is what we were officially when we were on the ships, when you're working 6 months, that's 6 months without one day off. So you're going straight.
Right.
And you're working 60 to 90 hour weeks. And you're
7
like
days a week.
7 days a week, nonstop. You're in an apartment of yourself. So it's not like you have a team,
Right.
like a group of people. It's like you against the world.
Wow.
And it's an amazing opportunity. And I think like it's one of the coolest things. Like if you have the chance, if you're young and you're looking for like opportunities out of college, it's by far probably like my biggest suggestion is get out there, see the world, save money, explore. But yes, be prepared for like it's a little bit backbreaking. And you get to a point where, at least for like us knowing like next stages in career, of this is wonderful. It's led to so many opportunities, but there's only so much you can do.
There's an expiration date.
Yes.
Absolutely.
To it.
And
Sure.
to be honest, when I first started on ships, I thought I was going to be there for a year. Like, I was like, or actually, I was like, maybe I'll get a free cruise out of it. I don't even know if I'll like it. And then, you know, but everybody who goes on ships says this. Like, I'm just going to do it for a year. And then a year, 2 years, 3 years. I was there for 5 years. And then Marissa was like, I think this will be a really good transition because it's so hard to leave that life. Like, it is a fairy tale life out there.
And we talk about like the hard work, but at the same time, you wake up and breakfast is there, right?
And you're in a new country every day.
You're in a new country.
Yeah, new port. And so it's definitely not reality by any means. And she's like, this is the perfect transition because I actually started with DVC on the cruise team, which is where I met Derek.
It was.
Wait, go back.
Yeah.
Go back.
You skipped our story. Oh my gosh, Dani, you skipped our story. She didn't meet you yet.
What, right.
Hold on,
right,
you're
you're
coming.
right.
You're waiting in the wings.
Timeline.
I was
Because first,
Yes, you're right.
go ahead.
Okay.
This is your story. Don't make it a sad
do you
one.
like that rewind?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so I started with DVC, and that's where I met Kerri.
Thank you.
So-
Hold on, you're in the wings.
Wow.
So Kerri and I fell in love at training. We became besties
But
at
what's
training.
so crazy too is you guys had a training class of what, 5?
4.
Yeah.
4.
Yeah,
And
it's
so
so
like
small.
I mean, usually they would wait a long time and do big training
Yes.
classes. You guys had a tiny
Very
training
tiny,
class.
very odd.
Very
Like I think
intimate.
we were the smallest
Yeah.
class that they had.
Yep.
So that the chance meeting was just so strange.
Yeah.
But go ahead. Yes. So that's where we met.
We clicked. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know if we clicked immediately. I knew that I loved
Oh.
Kerri immediately. No, but we got really close. I mean, we just have so many similarities and
do.
you know, so many hobbies that we love.
Yeah.
Did I come in and speak at that
You
Yes.
did.
class?
You did come in and speak.
That's
So did I.
And so did Marissa. So that's how I met both of you.
Yeah.
And that's how Dani met Derek.
I forgot that Dani was
Yes.
in your training. That's
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
And so you came in and I was like, I love him. He's funny. And anyone who makes me laugh has my heart. And then Marissa came in and I liked her dress. So I was like, I want to be friends with her because I think she dresses nice. How shallow. But you turned out to be a lovely person,
I
too.
clearly wasn't funny.
No, you weren't that funny, but you were super smart. But it was a great training class. I remember asking Dani too because I had always wanted to be a shopping guide on the cruise ships, or I wanted to be like a QVC host or something because I talk a lot and I like to shop. And
And you love jewelry.
And I love jewelry. And it just seemed like a good match. But I remember asking you, I said, what was like when you moved back home, what was something that you were looking forward to? And you said, putting the key in my door. Of like my front door and
a regular key.
like a
Yeah.
regular key,
Yeah.
like
Not a card.
going grocery shopping and having groceries and putting a regular key in my. And I was like, really? And to this day, I think about that. I'm like, don't take for granted
Yeah.
that your key in the door because I just remember that you said that.
The
That
little
was
thing.
ours
the
was
little
grocery
things.
shopping.
Grocery
like Johan
shopping.
and I, it was like the biggest thing we were looking forward to is being able to go to the store,
Yeah.
pick our food, and go home and make like a real meal.
You know, I have this memory. I was still working on ships at the time, full time. You were with DVC already,
Yeah.
and I came over to your house, which that was such a weird concept. We didn't have houses
Right.
when we worked
We
on
didn't have
ships.
cars or homes or
And so I came over your house. You cooked me dinner, and I was like, "This is just so bizarre. Like I'm seeing you in a kitchen. Like it was just so weird. I mean, it's so funny. It's just not reality that life that we lived.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my first like memory of you on land.
it's so crazy. You like build a whole new life. But I think even like what's so cool in your story, and that's just another thing of like, as you go through like that Disney community, right? Or build kind of your next steps.
Yeah.
It's that like friendships and networking. And
Oh my goodness.
we talk about this in episode 1 of our first ever
Yeah.
World of DVC show.
I know
but
what
you
you're
like
gonna
you
say.
never know where that name tag will
That's
take
right.
you.
Yeah.
And you never know. And like I think that's one of the cool things. Again, if you're younger and looking for like next stages of career, never put down like that first meeting, like that coffee or that training group or who comes in and speaks, because you never know what will happen or what opportunities
know.
come
It's
from that.
So true.
Yeah, and
it's
then-
so true.
So I actually then started on the cruise team. So I worked at Saratoga for about like a month and a half.
Right.
Which was really fun too. I got to know everyone really well there. And then I started on the cruise team. And funny enough, the person who came in to talk at our training was the person who trained me on board the cruise. And so I did my first ever training cruise with Derek.
Yeah.
And we went to dinner at night and we got to know each other. And that's the unique thing about the cruise team. I think we get so close because we are traveling together. We're with each other all the time. And
We give up our aisle seat so they don't have to sit in the middle seat.
That's
I know the
love.
story. Yes.
That is
right.
love.
Because people don't realize, because I'm sitting here, I'm literally 8'4", so I'm
8'4".
Pretty
very, very
Yes.
tall. So yeah, she was always kind of, but
And Marissa's like 5 foot even.
so when we would fly, one time I think I looked and I was walking to my seats and I was like, why did Marissa have like an exit row? And I'm going all the way in the back with my knees pressed up. But yeah, she was very, very kind. But that is so true, because when you're on the ships, you literally spend more time with people that you're working with than
Yeah,
at
absolutely.
times your own family.
Yeah.
Because you're
gone.
going off on cruises. Like she said, it might be for a week. You might go out on like a 3-night cruise and then a 4-night cruise, and then you come home for a week, and then you're going to go to Europe for 2 weeks.
And because of the unique ports you're going into, you want to explore them. So you're going on these like incredible, like I remember like rock climbing in Alaska, you know, with like
Your team.
my team on
Yeah.
the ship.
Yeah.
And so you go on these, like if you think about like a retreat, right, Kerri, and like those moments you have at a retreat, and those like we were doing mini retreats at every
Every
cruise.
cruise. Right.
cruise.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think this is something that a lot of people don't realize. So I don't know about you guys, but guests would ask me this all the time. Like, so do you do long contracts? Do you get off every cruise? Do you even sleep on board? Some people would be like, how do you get home every day? I'm like, I don't.
So
Right?
funny.
And they also don't realize that we're not stuck to one ship. Like we would go on all of the ships.
Yeah.
And so we'd go on all the ships, all the itineraries. I'm sure we've probably done almost every itinerary that Disney has to offer. Travel all around the world together, and just like, I mean, some of my
exciting.
best memories were
That's
made
exciting.
with you guys on the
Yeah.
ship. You know?
It really, it's so true, because you get to do stuff that me growing up outside Chicago, Illinois, and Indiana, the thought that I one day would get paid to go to like Russia, to go to Iceland, and to go to Norway, and
Let
just
alone even
all that.
make it there.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I remember my first time. So my first ever cruise was by myself, was to Hawaii. And I was like, I didn't think I would make it to Hawaii until my honeymoon. My parents went to Hawaii on their honeymoon, so I always just imagine doing my honeymoon there, and I'm like 21 years old, going to Hawaii on a cruise, and I'm working and I'm getting paid for it.
Wow.
Like, what a concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then you, Dani, after doing that with Disney Cruise Line and DVC, you then left to go start your
Took
own
a little hiatus, right?
Okay,
Tell us that story.
But this is a hiatus and a
Yeah.
half, let me tell you.
So I actually met my Prince Charming on board Disney Cruise Line. So I met my boyfriend. He also worked for DVC on the cruise ship, and we met, we fell in love, and then COVID happened. That was crazy. The whole world changed. We both love to travel. He was on the cruise team as well. And we did our first big trip together before we took our hiatus. We actually rented a van and we drove all around the country. We went to 22 states.
What was your favorite state?
Oh, goodness. So I loved Zion National Park.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Was amazing. We did this hike called the Narrows.
That's in
Okay.
Utah.
Yes,
Right? Yeah,
it's like Utah. I think it's
Arizona?
Arizona
Arizona, okay.
border.
Yeah.
So we did this hike called the Narrows. We hiked like 9 miles through the water
Oh, wow.
with these big canyons around us. If you have not been to Zion, small little plug for Zion National Park.
Plan a trip.
The show is huge in Zion.
So we drove all around the country. And so, being in a small little space with, your partner, I was like, I think this might be the one. Because, we got along so well. And, we had the time of our lives. We went back to Disney. But the cruise ships weren't out yet. And we were just working here at Walt Disney World on land. And we're just like, all of our friends were having kids and getting married, and life was getting so serious. And we're like, if we're going to do this, we got to do it now. So we left Disney and we dropped everything. We sold all of our stuff. We had this huge yard sale, and we went and traveled around the world for a year.
Like literally the
literally.
world.
Literally the world. We actually circumnavigated the globe.
Wow, Dani. It's just incredible.
Yeah.
And this was during COVID?
Yeah, this was
This is during COVID, which actually ended up working out amazing because the flights were so cheap.
Yeah.
We flew from Miami to Spain for $150.
Oh my gosh.
Can you imagine? And yeah, there was no one on the plane.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about like an exit row. We would get like, we had a whole section of the plane.
Private jet.
Yeah,
Private
they
jet.
had to move people around to like distribute the weight evenly because it was that empty.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah, and then these countries were some of them just opening up for the first time. It was really interesting to navigate. We had to do a lot of research before we went to the next country because we didn't know what the restrictions were. We didn't know what the testing was like. I never had so many Q-tips shoved up my nose in my life.
Did you have any type of an agenda, or because we talk about being planners, some of us are planners, some of us aren't, some of us are a little bit in the middle. Were you a planner on this, or just kind of like spontaneous?
Yeah, so you and I are very similar in many ways, but this is where we are very different.
Okay.
Kerri's a planner.
A little bit,
not.
yeah. Yep.
And luckily Kevin isn't either.
Okay.
We had nothing planned.
Wow.
Just go fly
Literally.
by the seat of your pants.
And I don't think we could have done it any other way
yeah,
during COVID.
I wouldn't imagine.
Because we didn't,
Yeah.
a lot of these countries were closed when we got there. Like, we were like, if we have to stay in Spain for a year, we'll live in Spain for a year. We didn't even know if any countries were going to open. And so they started to open when we were there. And so we would be like, you want to go to Malta tomorrow? Literally, we'd book a flight. It's so cheap to fly over there, by the way.
right.
I mean, we would fly to Malta for like $15.
Right.
Which is insane.
That is crazy.
It's crazy.
And a lot of times we would fly into the airport and then book our hotel there or our Airbnb,
kind of like booking your restaurant at the Boardwalk.
Yeah, right.
As you drive in.
I wish we had unlocked magic.
I know.
Boardwalk,
Let it
Malta.
book for you.
Boardwalk, Malta.
Same idea though.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish I had unlocked magic
Right,
for that.
exactly.
You land and you get all these
Yeah,
alerts.
all these alerts
your
of what's
reservation
available.
is- exactly.
Maybe
yeah, no,
so.
flew by the seat of our pants, and we ended up going to 19 countries
In what time span?
in a year.
In one full year.
What were some of your favorite visits?
Oh, this is a hard question.
Sure.
So we get asked this question a lot, obviously. And we have superlatives, I would say, instead of picking a favorite, because that's like picking a favorite child.
Yeah.
So I would say.
I can do that. Don't worry, they're not watching.
This is the episode they watch.
I can do that.
They're both. I think he's talking about me. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I would say for nature and adventure, Slovenia.
Okay.
Which I feel like is such an underrated country. Everybody talks about Switzerland, but Slovenia is very similar to Switzerland.
Okay.
I don't even know where that is.
Yeah,
It's near Switzerland? Where is it?
It's on the same
know.
continent.
Okay.
It's like in Eastern Europe.
Oh,
okay.
By Croatia and
Not that far.
yeah.
We're just nodding. We have no.
Slovenia is also
oh yeah.
Slovenia is also very close to Italy as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so you have those beautiful snow-topped mountains
Yes.
and the most gorgeous scenery.
Now,
And
when you went to Slovenia, not Slovenia. I want to say
Slovenia.
Slovenia, but that's not right.
You're-
Slovakia.
Slovakia. You're combining. the
I am
two,
combining.
yeah.
Okay, Slovenia.
Slovenia.
Did you do I say excursion, but it's not did you do something there that was did you propel down a mountain or rock climb or take a tour or anything like that?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. You just enjoyed.
To be honest, everybody was outside always. We did a lot of hikes.
Nice.
We rented a car and we drove all around the country, which was incredible. We love to do that. I think that's the best way to really see a place and immerse yourself.
Right.
And so we drove all around the country and just saw all the beautiful nature. But everybody was out fishing. We're really bad at fishing, so we didn't attempt that. I mean, the waters were crystal clear. So if we were ever going to catch a fish,
that was the time to do it.
That was the time to do it, but we probably wouldn't have even caught a fish there. And yeah, I mean, everybody was hiking and kayaking and biking, and it's just like a very, like
outdoorsy,
active, outdoorsy country. I would say food, Thailand. The food there, the street food was incredible.
I'm hungry just talking
I know.
about it.
Yeah.
And Thailand is where you had an extended stay?
I did.
How long did you stay there for?
I stayed in Thailand for 3 months.
Okay. Tell us the
So,
story.
you guys are getting the inside scoop because we were doing YouTube for a while. We just really wanted to document our trip and just have something to look back on.
Yeah, of course.
YouTube is hard. I'll be honest. It took a lot of time.
A lot of editing.
Yeah, we but this never got to YouTube. This never got on social media. Not very many people know about this, so you're getting the inside scoop because it was pretty traumatic. So I actually broke my leg in Thailand.
My God. What were you doing?
I was walking along this retaining wall, and Kevin was flying the drone, and it was just so beautiful. And I just looked over, and next thing you know, I was like flat on my face, fell on a bunch of rocks, broke my leg. We were on this tiny little island called Koh Tao, and I get rushed to like this little, it looked like a little urgent care. Or like a little Thai grandmother's house is essentially what it looked like.
That's different from urgent
Yeah,
care.
right.
Like a Thai urgent care. And the doctor took one look at my leg and he's like, we got to get you some x-rays. And I'm like, great. Where do I do that? Like, I don't see an x-ray machine here. And he's like, that's because we don't have one on this island.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So we had to get on a speedboat and go to the neighboring island, which was 2.5 hours away. Yeah, so that was interesting. I've traveled all over the world, and to be honest, I never thought about like what happened.
Yeah,
Right.
if you get injured or something.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And so they took me to the hospital, and let me just tell you, Thailand has the most amazing healthcare system. So I ended up breaking it so bad that I did need surgery in Thailand.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Crazy. But do it for the story, right? It makes for a good story. So I stayed in the hospital for 8 days. Kev was able to stay there with me, which was amazing. They had a bed for him. And actually, my hospital room was basically a hotel room. I mean, it was gorgeous. I had a balcony overlooking a retention pond. It was beautiful.
So you stopped the YouTube when you had clickbait that was like, hey, get a room in Thailand for free. Let me show you how.
For free.
For free. I don't know about that. Make sure you have good
8
health
nights for
insurance.
free.
Yeah, luckily we had good insurance. But yeah, I had surgery there. They actually flew a specialty surgeon in from Bangkok. He like does this specific surgery all the time. So I had 2 amazing surgeons. Shout out to Dr. Warwoot in Thailand. But yeah, so I have metal in my leg now. I have 12 screws.
Wow.
Yeah, and I had to learn how to walk again. I was non-weight bearing for 2 months. So we got to live in Thailand for 3 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where did you live after you got, was released from the hospital? Where did you go to a hotel or Airbnb or?
Yeah,
how did you do it?
we rented a house from a lovely couple from France, actually, and that was their like vacation home. And it was just like 8 minutes away from the hospital because I had to go for checkups and I had to go for physical therapy every week. So we were just super close to the hospital, and we got to live like the locals.
And good thing you like their food the best.
Exactly. That's true. That's a great point.
So funny enough, Kev is a big foodie, and I've been to Thailand before, And I used to just always eat at like the fancy restaurants there because I would see the street food, but I was always so scared.
Right.
Have you guys had street food before?
Yeah, not from Thailand, but
Yeah. So I don't know. I was just
Yeah.
a little freaked out about the street food. I didn't want to like,
right.
die. So,
Yeah.
but that was just me being naive and ignorant. But and Kev was like, "No, we have to have street food." So I had street food for the first time, and it's the best thing I've ever.
What did you have?
eaten. So my favorite food is soup. I could literally eat soup every single day. You remember
Yes,
that?
I do.
So I could eat soup every day of my life. I love soup. I'm like basically a grandmother in like a 30-year-old
Who
body.
lives at urgent care.
Yeah, yeah. And so they had this beef noodle soup that I dream about. It was like the most tender beef with just all these noodles and amazing vegetables and everything's so fresh because they are
Right.
just turning it over, every minute. I mean, there were always long lines of people waiting for this food. And yeah, so that was my favorite. I would eat that like 5 times a week.
Wow.
And then when your journey was coming to an end, then how did you wind up coming with us?
Well, I think Marissa kind of had this in mind. Like, Marissa's like my fairy godmother. She basically plans out my whole life for me. And
So far, so good.
What's so funny is, just a side note, so I've got these, like, as we're preparing for summer here in Florida, since, it's March, I got these towels for us to wear for my family. They're like these big, like, how there's like the kid towels that they
Oh,
wear?
yeah.
There's like adult versions of them because like we'll get in the pool and then we'll get cold or you want to like change out of your bathing suit. Anyways, I had a blue one on yesterday and Caden's like, "You're a fairy godmother."
she's
So
literally
there you
my
go.
fairy
Yes,
godmother. So after Thailand, we went, we finished off our trip. We went to Australia. We went to New Zealand. Kev's a big Lord of the Rings fan, so we got to go to Hobbiton. We went to Fiji. We ended our trip. I have to talk about this because we ended our trip at Aulani.
Oh,
wow.
What a perfect place to be.
It was because
Yep.
we met at Disney
Yep.
and then we left Disney and that was, obviously a little sad. And then we traveled around the world and we were just like sitting in the infinity hot tub at Aulani watching the sunset. And we're just like, can you believe like we did it?
What a cool full circle.
We
Right,
did it. It was so full
absolutely.
circle. And then as we were sitting in the hot tub at Aulani, he's like, do you want to go to Disneyland like after this? And I was like, because we were supposed to just go straight home.
Okay.
We're like, let's do that. Because I had never been to Disneyland in California before.
That's perfect then.
And yeah,
So
it
for
was-
Alani, because you're a DVC member, did you use your points for that?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course I did. And so we did, we actually did a split. We did a studio for one night and then we did a 1-bedroom for the rest of the
Nice.
nights. And it was incredible. We had an island garden view, which is my favorite view because you could see the luau.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
from
It was
the
so funny
balcony.
because when we stayed, we had an ocean view. But I had walked by and I was like, the people that have that island garden, because it's not every island garden, but I know which one you're talking about. Because I remember pointing out, being like, they hit the jackpot because the luau is not cheap. I think it's like $75 to $100 per person. And so like that specific island garden view, you can look out of your window each night or sit on your balcony and watch the luau
you
every
serious?
night.
I think
Oh
we
my
had the
gosh.
best view
It-
because
it
it was
really
like kind of
is.
up top and we
Oh,
got to
nice.
see everything. And then you still get to see the ocean too.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
mean, you
that's a
have like
great
a
view.
peripheral
Yeah.
ocean view. So yeah, that was
You'd wake up
incredible.
and have your morning soup. And
in my coffee cup so nobody thinks I'm weird. Yeah, have my morning soup. But yeah, so we did that and then we came back and we were just like, we really took it slow. We weren't in a rush to like get back to work or anything.
So what did you think of Disneyland?
Okay, this is going to be
Careful.
controversial.
Wow.
The pause has me nervous.
I know.
remember that cup of coffee that she took you on.
I know. So
Tread lightly.
I grew up at Disney World. I mean, I've been coming to Disney World since I was
That's why I wanted to
3.
ask you, because you're a true
I am
Florida
a
girl.
true Florida girl. It was cute. I see why people like it, but it was cute.
Cute is normally not a compliment.
No, but like,
Well, I'm a true California girl. And you're a true Florida girl.
I know.
So
I have
we
to
will,
tread
True
lightly
battle.
here.
Here's the
we
true
will
battle.
agree to disagree on this.
I know. It was very charming, I would say.
That's a good word to describe
which
it.
is very different than Walt Disney World. Walt Disney World's so overwhelming. It's so huge. I've been coming since I was 3 years old, and I still haven't seen and done everything here. And there, you can kind of
Yeah,
do
you can get it
everything
done,
in
yeah.
one trip.
Right.
But I actually went to Disneyland. We went to Disneyland in Paris when we were over in Europe, and I think that might be my favorite park.
Oh,
actually.
really?
Also really small and quaint,
Yeah.
but the Parisians are just so adorable. And I don't know, I just love that park. But yeah, so we came back. And we spent a lot of time with friends and family because, you know, we had a lot of making up to do.
They missed you.
Yeah. My sister had a baby.
Oh,
a
precious
my
little
first
baby.
niece.
She's
Her name's
adorable.
Avia. She's so cute. And I got to see her, spend time with them, spend time with Kev's family. And then I just got the call. And I knew when I saw that name on my phone, you know, obviously Marissa and I talk all the time, but like it was just the timing. I just knew when that call came what it was for. And she's like, "Are you ready?" And I'm like, "I guess so." And it really was perfect timing because I got to go to our company retreat
That was your first day.
as my first
Yeah,
day
first
that
day.
you planned, which
Yes.
was phenomenal.
It was so much fun, thank you. But I still marvel that this was your first day on the job.
Yeah.
And there's really nobody else, I think, who could have handled that to come in and be like, "Yep, here I am. I'm Dani, and I'm ready to work." Like it was just everyone
so
else would be like, I don't talk to anybody. I don't know anybody. I'm so uncomfortable, and you just hit the ground running, literally from day one.
In my head, I was like, what a perfect way to start
It
out with a
is,
company.
yeah.
I got to meet everybody
You did.
from all over the country. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no stranger to me now.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody,
Yeah.
like, and I
Yeah.
just felt like everyone was one big family.
Yeah.
Oh, I get the chills. But I really, when I was there, I was like, I'm home.
Oh,
Like,
that gave me chills. Yeah.
I am I
Yeah.
am right where I am supposed to be. I was welcomed with open arms. This team, let me just tell you, is the most phenomenal team I have ever gotten the chance to work with. We really are like a big family. Everyone has been so welcoming, so kind. I feel like I've been here for years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
been
natural fit,
amazing.
honestly, Dani. Like it's just such a natural fit.
100%.
And I remember seeing you that day. Everybody was having lunch, and I was trying to find you, and I saw the headband. I was like, there she is. There's Dani. And so
I didn't wear it today.
No, but you're like your classic
Signature
headband,
Dani
just
headband, yes.
signature headband. And yeah, it's just such a natural fit. And to come in and see the core values and meet everybody and hear stories, and then go to a beach party, and then the park day and the Christmas party. It was just
And it was at Disney. It was so
at Disney.
official.
Yeah,
and such
right.
a full circle moment, I think,
It
for
is.
all of us,
Yeah.
right? Of like, to whoever, I think Marissa said earlier, like, never discount that moment of like a cup of coffee together, a meeting together,
just
a
thinking
meet and
the same
greet.
thing.
You just never know. If you would have told me sitting there in that training room, I had been a long-term cast member,
You were.
17, 18 years or so, but meeting you and then Marissa and Derek, and someone saying, okay, in like the next 7 to 10 years, you'll be doing a podcast together and working with them. No, that's not going to happen.
Right.
And,
In
it's
what
just
universe?
what universe is that going to happen? But it just is such the perfect fit.
And even like when I first met you, I was like, I felt like at that time you were right where you needed to be at that time. But
100%.
this role
Yeah.
is you to a T.
I have to agree with you 100%. It really is.
It really
Carrie's
is.
like, I did create it. So
I just
You're
love it.
so good at it.
Thank you. I love it. And I think that's kind of the theme here too is
Yeah.
we love our guests, we love our members, we love what we do, and hopefully the community that we build, people genuinely feel that.
Yeah.
That, it's not I don't know, we just feel like we put people first.
Yeah.
And I think I think this show took a little bit of a different direction, which I think is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And I think really when we go back to, again, how we kind of kicked off the year, right? With like revolutionizing the vacation experience. And as we look to like grow and do new things, right? Like trade-ins for resale market.
Yes.
Like what can we do that hasn't been done that we make it better for like our guests?
Yeah.
But at the same time, we do that internally. And I think for us to be able to produce and make these really cool things, we can't do that unless we're growing as well. And I think even to like Dani, your point about Kerri, like we didn't have a director of staff. Like we didn't have that built up. And it wasn't that like we didn't want to. It was just like that thought hadn't come yet. And I think that's what's so special about our team is like Kerri's like, but this is my fit. So let me jump in and do this. And then it was the green light of like, yeah, Kerri,
Yeah.
this is your fit. go with it,
Yeah.
right? And same thing
Unbelievable.
with me. Like, we didn't have a marketing department when I started.
Right.
And I just started doing it on the side. And then
we did. You did it. You just didn't have an official title.
It made sense to go like, let's actually have like a full-on marketing team now. So we
Yes.
can like showcase these things. We can do these shows. We can have these fun giveaways and all of that. And that's what's been so cool is there's no opportunity that's said no to. It's just of like,
It's
how do we
timing.
make it happen?
Yeah, it's the timing. It's how do you make it happen? Who are the right people? If it doesn't work today, maybe in a month or two or a couple of weeks, it will. It's so true, and I don't know that we're used to that kind of an environment, but because we're smaller, we can be.
And let me just tell you, your title is marketing, but it's really just a way to connect with our guests. And that's why I was so excited to be on this show because, I mean, we get to talk to our members over the phone. And let me just tell you, the phone is powerful. Just because I don't see you in person, like I've gotten so close to a lot of my members already.
Sure, yeah.
And so I was just like, I just want a way to get one step closer. Like I just want to feel like we know each other really, really well. And so that's why I was so excited to be on the show because people call in all the time and they're like, I watch your show. Do you know those guys? And I'm like, I do know those guys.
Do they really like each other?
Thanks for not saying who.
If you don't sit too close.
Not too close. You have ventured over.
So, Dani, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for
So
coming.
fun to have you on the
Welcome,
show.
welcome to the world of DVC family. Welcome to the DVC Resale Market. So thank you for coming.
Thank you so much. And thank you to you guys too. Derek posted something on Facebook about me coming onto the team and you guys were just so welcoming and so nice. And so thank you so much for welcoming me with open arms.
It's because we have the best audience in the world.
We do. We really do.
And to close up on that, of course, we want to give away one special gift card to one of our audience members. So it's $150. Make sure you subscribe, thumbs up, give us a comment. I know we said like cruise memory or where you want to cruise to, but since Dani's been talking about traveling around the world, where in the world do you want to go, right? Let's broaden that up a little bit. So put that in the comments. We'd love to hear because who knows, maybe we'll do a whole revolutionizing
I need some more
Thailand.
inspiration. Like where's your favorite place?
So awesome. So I think that's it. I want to go
good,
eat soup and I want to travel the world.
Thailand noodles.
So thank you guys once again. On behalf of myself and Marissa and Kerri and Dani and the entire world of DVC family, thank you for being part of our family and our audience. And we are thrilled to have been able to bring you another show.
Yeah.
And it's already done.
And there's just one more thing left to do.
One more thing left to do.
Our
Ready?
long-standing tradition.
Long-standing tradition.
Yes.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. We'll
See you real soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Please remove your headphones, step back into reality, have a magical day, and we'll see you real soon.